Hi there. Today I want to do a video on a basic shelter setup. Now this does have some advantages. It's very quick, easy to set up. You have to carry minimal equipment with you to have this kind of shelter, but that's the downside too, is then it is a minimal shelter, and it's not going to be as comfortable as some other shelter arrangements that I'm going to show you later. But for this one, we just need a tarp. Now this is a 5x7 tarp. It's the same size as one of those emergency space blankets, but if you don't have one of those, you can pick a 5x7 tarp up for just a couple dollars at like Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever. You're also going to need your ridgeline, which if you don't know how to make your ridgeline and set it up, I have a little short video out there showing you just that, just how to make your ridgeline and set it up. We also need our tent stakes. For this video, we'll just need 2 of them. If you don't have some you carry with you, you can always just make 2. And we're also going to need 2 toggles and 2 loops of cordage. Now I just used some bank line here. I see they don't need to be very big. They just need to be what we're going to use in the back of the tarp to stake it down into the ground. So it can be paracord or whatever for that. So I'll show you that when we get to that. So first thing we're going to do is get out our ridgeline. Now remember, this still has our prusik loop on it, so make sure that's up towards the end with your bowline knot. Now the shelters also would be nice in the summertime. Like if you aren't worried, about rain or getting cold or anything, this would be a nice one maybe to block the sun from you. Or if you did get a sudden downpour, it would keep the rain off of you. But you'll see when we're done, it's not going to help you too much on the ground as far as the ground being wet. So since I'm kind of doing this, I'm going to set this up as kind of a summertime shelter. So basically I'm going to make my ridgeline a little higher. In the wintertime, you'd want to keep it down low to keep your body heat trapped in there. And if you watch the ridgeline video, you'll remember that we have our loop on this side, and we're going to use that for the first corner of our tarp here. Now this isn't a square, this is rectangular tarp, so you're going to want to put the long edge on the ridgeline and keep the short edge down. That way it'll cover you if you're laying down in there. So we're going to put one of the corners of our tarp in here. Just going to pull it down tight, and then we're just going to put 2 half hitches in here. Remember to just make sure it doesn't come undone. The other side, we're going to take our prusik loop. We're going to put it through that grommet. We're going to put other toggle in there, and then we're just going to pull that tight. So if you wanted, if it was kind of loose and floppy here, you could put another one, but it's not really necessary to do that. I guess we actually do need two more toggles in for the back part here. So what we're going to do, basically if you have a loop already in your tent stake, like these come with loops already in them, I could just stick that loop through here, put my toggle in, and then just pull that tight out here and stake it down in the ground. Just like that, and I don't need these extra ones. But if my tent stakes, if I had to make them, or if they didn't already have some cordage on them, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to stick this loop through, put my toggle in it. And then I'm just going to put my tent stake out. So now I'll just do the other side real quick here. So, there you go. Like I said, you know, even with me explaining all the steps and taking my time, it still didn't take me very long to set up. If you practice this a little bit and you really need to set it up, 2 minutes or less you can have this thing set up, especially if you have all your stuff prepared, like your ridge line and your toggles and your tent stakes. Like I said, this is the very basic of shelters. It's going to keep the rain off of you, maybe keep the wind off of you. But you can see under here, I mean, you're going to have to get something to put down on the ground to lay on, whether it's a big pile of leaves or whether it's some pine boughs, whatever you need. So I'm going to do a couple other videos with some different shelter configurations, and maybe you'll see that you don't need to worry about the ground cover so much. Remember, you need compressed about 3 or 4 inches of material. And that means compressed. That means once you lay on it, it still needs to be 3 or 4 inches up off the ground. So you really need to get a lot of material under here. If you have a fire out front, that can help, especially if you actually have an emergency space blanket with a reflective side on that. There's one thing with these cheaper tarps that you're losing is that reflectiveness of the emergency space blanket. So, okay, stay tuned. We're going to have some more shelter videos.